My name is Suman Sasmal, and really have the pleasure of talking to you. And what I want to do today is take about 5 minutes to just explain and simplify from my experience of when I look at global boardrooms or even startups and small and medium business owners in India or outside. They all come with a whole bunch of experiences and expectations that if they really get hold of a few frameworks and tools and concepts and skill sets, I think they can turn it around. They can have some extraordinary growth and all that good stuff. Now, it's partially true and it's fairly limited because fundamentally, what is the missing point is the mindset. I think the mindset is way ahead of any skill set or tool set that you can potentially acquire from the best of places in the world. And why that is important, let me tell you these three things. If I have to really do something extraordinarily big, it starts always with the intent. So that's my first part. Why I want to do something. What is that intent that is driving me? And the last piece is always about what is that big outcome that I'm really after? What is that realm of possibilities that I want to really change? So that's your last piece. And connecting these two pieces, the intent and the outcome, is the execution piece. How to really make it happen? What is that secret sauce? Let me dwell on these three things and let's do a double click. So, the first one is the intent. Why am I doing this? Is it because someone told me to do this? Well, if that's the case, honestly, the energy is halved from the word go itself because I'm doing it to earn a living. It's not that. It's truly about today. For any successful venture, business, or anything, the foundation has to be on a solid why because it's all about solving a large problem. The larger the problem, larger the opportunity. What is that large problem that is troubling us, that is troubling humanity, that's troubling the world? That is, something if you really end up solving, how would the world look different? How would it be better than it was in the past? What would really wake you up every day at 6 a.m.? What would be really driving you nuts and crazy? And what is that source of emotional capital and that fuel that you badly need when you're down? And so on and so forth. That's the purpose. And we have to get that out of the door. That's your first piece. And the last piece is about the possibilities, the outcome. What outcome I'm looking at? Now, the way we define outcomes today is typically this way. We think this is possible versus what is truly possible. Now, honestly, it is all driven by what I think is possible. And where is this thinking coming from? The thinking comes from the conditioning that we have all gone through over the past decades, over the past several years of our experience for education of everything around. The world looks very different in the future. And we don't have a sense of that because it's exponentially growing. And when anything is exponential, it is very difficult to look at that future. And when we have a nuanced interpretation of that, I think it's very important to understand that. What's the realm of possibilities? The nuanced interpretation of the changing consumer behavior, of the consumer expectations, of the society, of the economy, of the political environment, and so on, which is all enabled by a bunch of exponentially growing technologies and domains. And we need to take a view of that, a very conscious view of that. And the second piece, the middle piece, is all about connecting them. And that's the real where rubber meets the road. And that's what makes the difference between a successful venture or a successful initiative and a not successful one. It is not about the standard traditional long drawn project management and the program management and so on. It's all about iterative discovery of your customer, of the problem, of everything, including the solution. How do you approach the market? How do you approach the product journey? And all these things, there are a whole bunch of jargons available, the lean startup, agile development, design thinking, and all of that. But how do they really all come together and connecting the purpose with the outcome and the middle piece of all these different frameworks, how to really come together, the integration piece? I think that's very important. So I think the simplified understanding helps us prepare the mindset, get ready for the future, not just define the future, but implement the future.